So, ladies and gents, we're looking at compound complex sentences again. This is part two, exercise two. So, this is just asking us if these sentences are compound complex sentences or not. So, let's look at that first one. When he was sick, Tony missed the class test. So we have there's my verb, there's my subject. So this when is functioning as a subordinating conjunction. So when he was sick is a dependent clause. And this one, Tony missed the class test, is independent. So it's an independent clause. And one independent clause and one dependent clause is not a compound complex, right? One independent, one subordinate would be technically complex. So this one, no, is not. And the reason is it's a complex sentence because it has one dependent and one independent clause. Right? Number two. While we were eating sushi, my friend told me she was allergic to fish, but she was already having a reaction. Too bad. While we were eating sushi, we're eating is my verb, we. My friend told me, told, who or what told? A friend told that she was allergic to fish, but she was already having a reaction. Having, who or what was having, or was having, she. All right. So then let's look. While we were eating sushi, that's my dependent clause. And so then independent, my friend told me she was allergic to fish. Yes, that's independent. But she was already having an allergic reaction. That's also independent. So yes, right? Because we have one dependent clause and two independent clauses. Right? Next one. Beth and Chris were desperate to go to the park. Well, I don't have any subordinating conjunctions. And I don't have any other independent. So let's look at this in terms of just subjects and verbs. Beth and Chris were desperate to go to the park. Word desperate is my verb. Who or what were desperate? Chris and Beth. And so actually, no. This is technically a simple sentence. And it has two subjects and one verb. All right, next one. I like carrots, but I love broccoli, which is currently in season. There's a comma, but, there's a comma, and there's a which. All right, I like carrots. Let's go through and do the subject verb thing. Like is my verb. I love, what loves I love, is what, who or what is, that's which is technically describing broccoli. So let's look at this. I like carrots, independent, but I love broccoli, independent. Which is currently in season? This which is a substitute for that word broccoli. So if I say broccoli is currently in season, makes sense. There's my subject, there's my verb, but that which is taking the place. So most technically, yes. And the reason for that is that which represents both the subject and also the conjunction. And so that makes it therefore dependent. Right? And so I have, let's see, two independent clauses and one dependent clause. Right? Last one. Oh, and I kind of wrote on it. Let's erase just a little bit of that. Sorry. Okay. Although I like the cinema, comma, I'm grounded, comma, so my parents won't let me go. Okay. Although I like the cinema, what's my verb? Like, who or what likes? I like the cinema. I am grounded. Okay, sorry. Who or what am grounded? I. My parents won't let me go. What's my verb? Like will, let, right? That negative never counts. Who or what will let? Parents. Okay, so now let's go through. Although I like the cinema, independent or dependent, right? Because of that, although I am grounded, independent, so my parents won't let me go. Independent, right? And so, yes, because we have one dependent clause and two independent clauses. Boom.